Good evening. Welcome to the den. I am your herald. I am your host. I am your host, Sir Ed Honcho. Hey, look, man, it's good to see y'all. It's good to chop it up with y'all each and every evening that we that we come through, man. So this is the den discussing everything normally. Show. I think that's what I'm gonna stick with for right now. It sounds good. Um, it's Friday night. We've been going pretty good, you know, consistency wise. And I'm thinking I almost made tonight a talking dirty after dark because I definitely had a completely different topic in mind, right? But for whatever reason, I decided not to. I almost feel like I kind of regret that decision. See, this is the den where anything can happen, so be prepared for that. But anyway, I'm your host, Ed Honcho, and it is my honor, it is my privilege, but more than anything, it is truly my pleasure to get to chop it up with you each and every evening that we get a chance to chop it up. Um, so we're gonna see who we have joining us tonight. We're gonna talk about women. And Honcho, again, another evening with the woman bashing. Is that what you're going to continue to do? You're going to continue to hate on the women folk? Or are you going to continue to shit on the ladies and treat them poorly? But I never do that. I never ever do such a thing. I treat the women with such reverence in such appreciation. It's almost unhealthy, but y'all accuse me of being such a terrible person. Anyway, we're gonna talk about what makes a woman good. What makes a good woman? And Hunter, who are you to decide what makes a good woman? You don't know shit. Well, you might. You're right. It's not about me because I am not answering the question. Right? See, tonight it's Friday night, and I feel like the last couple of weeks have been male dominated, right? And so I'm trying to give the ladies a chance. It's Friday evening, you ain't doing nothing. You got your little wine, you got your little drink, you got your little Kenny G playing in the background. I don't know. I don't know what y'all listening to these days. I don't know. Y'all probably listen to fucking Glorilla in the background. Free, whatever. Anyway, but I wanna hear from the women this evening. We will see if we get any, if any. We'll see if we get many, if any, women callers. Because I want to know what the women think. I want to know what women believe a good woman truly is. Because if you ask any woman if she is a good woman, she's going to tell you she is. You ask a woman or you hear her talk about a previous relationship, she will always tell you she was such a good woman, right? She'll never tell you she was a piece of shit, right? She'll never tell you that she ever did anything wrong. It was always the man. So I'm curious to see if any women will be willing this evening to discuss that. Do, 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 do. So let's see what we have joining us this evening, and let's get into a great conversation, right? I see the lovely Miss D the Gamma. How are you doing, Miss D the Gamma? Um, Miss Patricia K, how are you doing this evening? What do I mean by good? That means she's on her best behavior. And when I say jump, she says, how high? Baker Man in the building. Shout out to the Baker Man. Let me see. Let me see. Jared Key, what's the motherfucking deal? Another key to unlock. Hey. Shout out to Jared Key. What's the motherfucking deal? HT Jason, aka the artist formerly known as Dr. Rabbit himself. Mm, that felt good. Let's see. Heidi gets aroused by that. Michelle. There's that. So yeah, Jack Tripper, what's the motherfucking deal? The comedian. Then I stopped looking after I got off the show. I was tired. I stopped looking. Right? Yeah, that's a whiskey sour. I mean, that's a whiskey. You can have whiskey sour. You can have what you want. So I'm in fasting. So I haven't eaten anything today. And the crazy thing, right? Here's the crazy thing about today, which is weird. Because most of the time I've ever done a fast, and when I say fast, I mean like a water fast, right? Like at the most, I'll put some apple cider vinegar in the water in the morning, right? So, yeah, but I haven't eaten anything, and I'm not really. I haven't been craving like because usually it's a mind. I would say it's more of a mind thing than anything, right? It's like more of a mind thing than anything because when you're looking around and you see food getting pushed at you all the time, you start to crave it. But because I don't have to like get out and about, and I'm not seeing all these stores, the food, the McDonald's, the all that shit. So it's not you're not getting these subliminal cravings in your mind. Like I do not, I do not. She did. She came in late the other day. I do not. I don't have hunger pain like so. That's very interesting, right? Um, so we'll see. We'll do at least 3 days on this one. Might be easier than planned. Hopefully, we'll see. But let's see. Jack Triple the motherfucking pimp. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. The lovely, wonderful, extraordinary Miss Sarah Lou. How are you doing this evening? Uh, Heidi's pulling a Heidi right now. All right. So, like I said, I want to hear from the ladies tonight, right? I want to know what the women think a good woman really is, right? That's what I'm curious to know. Because I speak about definitions a lot. Because not every one of us is going to go by the Webster's Dictionary definition of anything. And even if we do know or have encountered the Webster's Dictionary version of a definition, so it's not like we remember it that way. When you're a person, you remember things in your own right, right? And when you say words, they hold a different level of intensity for each individual that says them, right? So, like I can say, hey, that's extraordinary, right? And really be bullshit and not mean something, but to someone else, the definition of extraordinary might be something. I mean, just breathtaking, something amazing that you struggle to put into words, right? Somebody else might just call, well, hey, look at that grass and that crop circle. That's extraordinary, right? Different words hold weight. And so you have to really, truly be careful when you're talking to someone about anything because every word that you pick and choose is going to be interpreted differently, right? It's going to be processed, it's going to be filtered in a different way. We've seen 100,000 times in here that Trill will call in with a point or an argument about a particular topic. And because he says it and expresses it in a manner which some might call aggressive, or some may say is loud, or some may say whatever, however they want to identify it. But then someone else can call in and make the exact same point and say, "Oh, I like that point because yeah, whatever, it makes sense." But you'll say the same thing, but because of the way it's said, it's received differently. So words are extremely important, right? I mean, when I say important, like I mean a solid mouthpiece can change your life, right? A solid ability to have conversations with people can alter your outcome. Some people have made it to the top just by simply being great bullshitters, right? Being able to not do anything but talk. So you have to understand why words are important, right? But some of the most important words that we ever use are some of the most simple words that we can ever use. Yes, no, up, down, left, right. Some of the simplest words that you can use, some of the earliest words that you ever learned, but they're some of the most important. They hold some of the most weight, right? But another pair of words that go with that word, those words is good and bad, right? So when you use terms like good or bad, you have to define what it means. So I want to know what it means to you, the ladies, the women in the den, because men and women process things completely. As much as we want to say we're alike, we process things differently. People of different heights process things differently. People of different sizes process things differently. Oh, excuse me. People, in different regions process things differently. It's the differences within ourselves that make us process information differently. So whenever two people say, I 100% agree, you don't ever 100% agree because you're not ever thinking in 100% congruence with someone else, right? Like you are similar minded. But we could say, I want to, I'm imagining this 2015 Tesla, whatever, driving in the straight line. You can give the most specific definition in the world. You're still going to visualize it differently. You're going to see the road differently that it's driving on. You're going to see the surroundings differently that's driving on. You're going to see the wheels turn and something to like. And you say, "Oh, this is not important," but small things lead to big things, right? So again, we've had 1,000 arguments in the den about 1,000 things that probably are similar in one way or form or fashion, but we need to define the word good. And once we define the word good, we need to understand how the word good pertains to women. And what does that mean? Right? So the only way I feel like we can figure this out is by asking a woman what good means, right? I mean, if y'all say all the time, well, you don't know because you're not a woman, honcho, so you can't walk in our shoes. You don't know what it's like. So I'm giving the women a chance to have a platform. I'm giving the women a chance to have a voice. I want to know, what does good mean to you, right? I want to understand a good woman in the eyes of a woman. What does that mean? Hopefully, we get some good, honest calls. And I'm not saying that the other calls have not been good. I'm just hoping that we see a way to connect and understand. But best of all, with conversations like these, there are no wrong answers, right? So I hope that one of the ladies we have not ever heard from will be willing to call in this evening, right? There's no need to be afraid. It's okay. You can call into the den. We won't attack you. I think sometimes y'all sit in there and I think that y'all like are afraid to call in because if I call in, they're gonna talk about me like that's like we talk about rituals and weird shit happening. Like, that's part of the den ritual, right? You get initiated. Trial by fire is through the phone. That's how you that's how you get initiated into the den, right? So again, I implore you to try it. Perhaps this is the evening we get someone to call for the first time who never called, right? Hopefully, we'll see. But again, what is a good woman according to a woman? I've been rambling long enough. right? So tonight, ladies, will you call or will you stall? I'm going to put the headphones on here in just a moment. I'm going to cut. Actually, I think I got the voice pulled up. And I'm going to see. I'm going to see who's going to get active tonight. I'm going to see who's a real den lady who's going to call in tonight and say, hey, you know what? This is what I think a good woman is, huh? I'm going to say nobody believes that shit. I'm just fucking with you. I'm not gonna go. I'm not going hard on the ladies tonight. I promise. Like tonight, lady, if you call in, I know sometimes y'all might be looking at you. I'm always bullying the lady. I promise, I will not go hard on you. If you tonight, you get a free pass. Right tonight, you get a free pass. Easy initiation for anybody who's never called into the den. Right. And if the ladies don't call in, we don't get any ladies calling in to represent for the ladies tonight. Then I want to hear from the fellas and fellas. I'm not gonna take the I'm not gonna hold back. I'm gonna take the reins off. You have to say whatever y'all want to because we'll define what a good woman is. We women are always talking about how men always want to label us and tell us all. I'm giving y'all a chance. Help us learn. All right. Help the men learn to be better men. Anyway. Cashmere. That was all righty. So if you smell what the rock is cooking, go too close to the pot. All right. About to get your ass burned up, buddy. Get back. All right. I'm gonna put the number in the thing for a change, right? Because usually I just don't do that and then I forget. And then it's like the show's over with and I never put the fucking number up. So, ladies, I want you to call into the den tonight. I would be grateful if you called into the den tonight and said, hey, you know what, Ancho, I've been watching the den for a while and I want to tell you what I think a good woman is, Ancho. Right? And I promise I won't be too mean. I won't be mean at all. I'm gonna do my best. If I am, it is unintentional. I promise. There's no need to be afraid. We're gonna see. We're gonna see if the ladies represent tonight. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this
Hey,
evening?
it's Belle.
Is it Belle? Is it the
Yes,
real
it
Miss
is.
Belle? You
It
know,
is.
I
I
heard
won't be
they
long.
cloned Tyrone, but then I heard they reshelled Miss Belle. So what's going on, Miss Belle? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Um, what a good woman is to me. What I would think she would be to herself is to know her own value and respect that. What a good woman is to the outer world is to have dignity and respect for herself. Know when she's wrong. Apologize when need be. Be kind as much as possible because the world can be cruel. Be in a partnership until it's not anymore. Not sure where you're going with it because there's a lot of things that make a good woman. Sticking by a partner that is not always so easy, or you're not, as a female, we're not always so easy to be around. Making it work when it's hard is a good woman. Not being perfect, but being present. That's about all I got.
Okay. How does a woman know her value?
Knowing what the value of her own self-esteem is. And her value can be different from one woman to another. But when we don't value ourselves, I don't think that there are points that I didn't value myself. I didn't think I was a good woman until I figured out what that was. And I made those changes.
What helped you figure out what being a good woman was?
For me, It was looking inside and not looking to the world and figuring out what I needed to change to make it better. And what I would tolerate and what I wouldn't tolerate, where my red flags were. And knowing that I had value when I said no or I've had enough. And it goes a long way with you men when we feel heard. We may not always feel valued, but when we feel heard, it helps. Again, I don't have much tonight. As well as you, I've had a really long week. I was late because I was putting my last load of laundry in.
So you said, looking inside, or actually knowing when enough is enough. When do you know that enough is truly enough? When do you say it's time
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I couldn't hear you.
When do you know enough is enough?
When you hit the wall. When you feel like you're backed against the wall and you've had enough. And getting out of the situation is usually where we either become trash or we become glass. And sometimes they're both, and sometimes they're one or the other. It doesn't make us a bad woman. It just means we had a bad circumstance. And the sad part is a lot of people hold that for longer periods of time. And they don't let women forget the mistakes that they've made. It's a way for people to keep other people down. And it doesn't help a woman feel good about herself if she's constantly being reminded of her mistakes. So in order to have a good woman, they also need to know how to treat a good woman.
Well, what if you treat a bad woman good?
Well, it's probably the toss of a dice, depending on how damaged she is. If you're going to be straight up and honest. Either they're looking for knight in shining armor or they're going to take you down with them.
What do you think the percentage is of treating a bad woman good and you getting a positive outcome from it?
All right, so again, I got kind of confused by the wording.
So what do you think the likelihood of a man who treats a bad woman good having a positive outcome in that relationship?
Probably less than 50-50. I mean, some people would call him a simp for even doing it. He may even think of it himself if it doesn't succeed. But then again, she may change her shit around and it may end up working. I mean, he may end up being the key to what she needed. You just really don't know.
So, I mean, if you were a man in that position, would you do it?
No. I know everybody has a certain amount of damaged goods the older you get, but there's also a sense of prioritizing your shit. And I'm just not in that level of game anymore that I'm going to go back to basics with a relationship because that's what they need. I've put my work in. I want somebody to meet me at the same level, not above, not below, beside. But it takes a person to do their own work before getting into a good relationship anyway.
Can you?
And I'm still in that process from being a widow.
Can you expect a person to credit you for work that they don't know that you did?
That's why it takes time to get to know somebody, because those things can come out naturally or organically in communication. And trust builds, or it doesn't. And as we've said so many times before, it takes a long time to trust. It's very simple for it to break in a second.
Shout out to one. Shout out to Smithy. Shout out to Solis. Chill out. Okay. I don't. I don't think I have any further questions. I said I wasn't going to be too tough. I wasn't going to grill too
Yeah.
much. So I don't think I have any further
And
questions.
and I'd love to hear from everybody else tonight. I kind of want a quiet night and just sit back and listen to everybody else tonight.
I appreciate you getting the party started. It is ladies' night. Are the ladies going to call in? Be as
I hope
brave as
so
Miss
because I know they
Bell.
got some good things.
Because I want to know what being a good woman is. So like right now, Miss Bell is representing for all the women in the den. So until we hear
Oh,
another that
I
you
hope.
right now you're the den
I
representative
did
right
well
now.
with that.
Yeah,
I hope I did well by the women. I
yeah,
honestly do.
yeah. You represent for all the women. So until another woman calls in with a different opinion or her own opinion, Miss Bell is the den women's opinion of what a good woman is. Okay, I can rock with that. I'm good with that.
All right.
All right, Miss
Night.
Bell.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Hey,
I appreciate it.
we got late night or Discord afterwards.
Absolutely.
Yep, you posted it. I saw it. Like I said, long day.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling and getting the party started for us tonight. Ring the
Absolutely.
bell.
Night.
Good night. Shout out to Miss Bell, right? So, you know, I find it very interesting. I find it very interesting that there was a peculiar call, right? Uh, the censorship in the den has gone too far. Oh, it's gone way too far. Hold on one second. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Well, firstly, when I got up after 4 this morning, was listening to last night's Den, I thought it was nasty talk. All I heard was inverted nipples, outverted nipples, nipples the same color as the rest of the boob, uh, augmented boobs, unaugmented boobs, saggy boobs, one bigger than the other boob. I'm like, this isn't Friday night.
No, it came Friday night came a little early. It was
It
playing
sure
in my
did.
mind.
It sure did. But listen, a good woman, first of all, you have to define what a woman is. Because I guess to a transgender, a good woman is someone that has a good set of boobs and a penis or two.
Oh,
you know. But a woman is someone that's nurturing. By nature we are. That's the way we were supposed to be made. And how good she is at executing her womanly duties. And then a good woman, like a good man, is different, to different people because people have various wants and needs. And for me, being a good woman is to fill in the gaps in someone's life because I want for people's lives to be better now that I came into it than it was before I came. It goes back to if you can't enhance the quality of one another's lives, what's the point? And I'd like to enhance someone else's life. And having the desire to invest time, energy, money, future, and if it's your intimate relationship, sex. To me, that's what a good woman is. To
rock
me.
with that. Okay, I can rock with that. I can rock with that. Um, over the years, has your definition of what makes a woman good changed, or when was it instilled in you to what a good woman was?
It was instilled at a young age, and I don't think it really has changed. Sometimes I've had to modify or pull back some because some people weren't deserving of it. You know what I mean? And I don't wait until things get too bad. I mean, I have in the past, but now your red lines. um, where something is going before it gets there. You know what I mean, Hancho? It's like I've seen this before. I've seen this enough times. You mean so now I see where you're heading, and I'm gonna back out.
Okay. Um, do you think that most women in America are good?
Okay. Whenever I call, I always hear the comments, Miss Grace is from a different time, from a different time. With these modern day women, I don't know. You mean because what I'm seeing, there's so many of them that aren't good, and maybe that's the ones we're talking about. You know what I mean? So much. But usually, I think that most women are good.
What do you think that it changed?
Allowing people to be sleaze buckets, telling too much. When we were coming up, we didn't tell everything. You mean there's some secrets and things that you take to your grave. And then there came a time where they said, you got to tell this, you got to tell that. It's enlightening, you know what I mean? It's freeing and all that other stuff. So people just know too much. You mean so they make excuses. You mean because you did it, I can do it. We can all do it. You mean all of this is acceptable. No one is to be shamed. You just have to accept it, and everybody just does whatever. They're out here like willy-nilly, and not thinking about the consequences afterwards.
They don't care. I mean, they just putting themselves out any kind of way that they can, and they just whatever's for the attention. Um,
Yeah, women don't know. Well, people in general don't seem to understand that they can get attention without being exhibitionists all the time.
I mean, but do they have more to offer than that?
They should. If all you have to offer is showing your body and talking about pound town and doing those kinds of things, I know she's an entertainer. You know what I mean? But I mean, they have regular people that aren't even famous. They listen to that. You know what I mean? And they want to live by it. And they think it's okay and it's accepting and it's liberating and it's freeing. You know what I mean? And they often get what I want to say. They often get sexy and um, slutty confused. You can be sexy without being a slut.
Yeah, I agree.
But a lot of girls think, oh, look at me, I'm so sexy, I'm out here being a slut, and to me that's not sexy. That wouldn't even be sexy to me if a man was out there behaving that way.
What?
Nope.
I said I'm being nice, and I said I'm being nice to the ladies tonight. So I'm not gonna push it.
No, no, you don't
Mm,
have to be nice to me.
no, 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 I'm not gonna be nice tonight. I'm gonna behave. But no, no, I do agree with you on the fact that there at some point that line between sexy and slutty got blurred and then erased, and now people just do anything, you know,
Right.
and it's too much. So um, it is what it is.
And even today, you mean when I listen, and maybe it's just because I only listen to the den, basically. And when I hear guys, fuck, 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 pussy, 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 we didn't hear guys talk about things like that.
Yeah.
You mean, what about talking about what's wonderful about a woman besides the sex that she can give you and what's between her legs?
You
Yeah,
know,
you could talk about that, but I mean, talk about some of the wonderful things about a woman.
I think a lot of those things are getting more and more rare, right? And like I think Heidi mentioned, men are visual creatures, so there are some good women out there that do have qualities that men are not going to be interested in. But it works the same way because there's a lot of good men that don't really get recognized because women aren't interested in it unless they a pocket first. So I can see that, but I think what's happening is more and more women are less and less interesting. I was talking about the other day when I was saying that a lot of women, a lot of people as a whole, but a lot of women especially because a lot of women can kind of get away with their looks and things like that and still exist without having to work so hard. But a lot of women don't have any personality. There's a lot
Right,
of women who are basically carbon copies of whatever the celebrities are doing. And that's why you
right.
see that's why you see they market to women so intensely. That's why they push so much stuff to women because they know women will follow what other women are doing. So a lot of women don't think independently. They don't think on their own. Well, every other woman's doing this, and then this is where their attention is, and so they do that. And so I think what happens is, and I think you're right that the generation you're thinking about may have held these qualities and you know these traits, but there has been a significant push in a different direction. And and I'm not really just young, but even in the younger generation, like we think about little Ken's age, like they're really out of control. And so I just think that those days are over. We're still trying to hold on and cling on to those ideals that women are this way because that's how women used to present themselves. I think I posted a clip in the other day in the Discord. It was the 1930s women. They were showing like a bathing suit that was a two piece, and they were like, "I would never wear that. That's disgusting." And it was just they were interviewing women in public, and now you see what women wear in public freely and openly, and they don't care. So I think what we believe a woman was or should be, if we are traditional, that's out the window. Even though we still try to cling on to that belief, and so I think that's where the gap is when we have these conversations. So I think we're both right to an extent, but we're both looking at different elements when we're talking about
Right.
men and women, and vice versa. So
And I wish people would get back to being more individual instead of copying. Because remember, I told you the other day, I like men that are unique. I don't want a man that sounds and acts and or looks like every other man. That's not interesting to me. You mean? And I want to. Well, someone did say I was unique. We had gone to a group of us had gone over to Martha's Vineyard and rented a house, and my younger sister's best friend, her brother just chased me round and round. It was miserable. You know what I mean? And then her best friend's husband said, "That's because Kathy's unique." And when we got back to the mainland, you mean, do you know that sucker showed up at my door, and I told him, "Don't ever come to my house again," because I wasn't interested in him at all.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was just a nuisance. But you know what I mean? I never fit neatly in a box, and I know this. And that could be difficult sometimes. You mean? But I'm true to myself. I'm not going to fit neatly in a box. I'm not going to copy. If I don't agree with something, then I'm just not going to go along with it. That's all to it. And somebody just has to accept that. And I would like a man to be unique also. And not to fit neatly in a box. Be interesting. Be somewhat mystical. Don't be
Not
don't be letting everything hang out.
Yeah, you gotta be. I think you gotta keep an air of mystery about yourself at all times. When you just give away too much of yourself, of course, people are gonna lose interest, and especially with being a man and being interesting. I agree with that because you got a lot of dudes that are kind of in a follower mindset these days. They're just kind of doing
Right.
what everybody else is doing. Like there's so much going on in the world, and somehow you got the exact same hobbies as all the rest of the motherfuckers around you. Like that's kind of weird to me. Like people are afraid to be themselves because they're afraid of how people are going to think about them. People have lower and
Right.
lower self esteem these days. It's kind of a sad situation.
No Heidi and Anthony Bailey. Otis wasn't it. But there were some things that were unique about him as well. Otis was very immature. And that's all that I'll say about that.
All right, all right. Um, I don't know. I don't
Yeah, old
think.
Otis. What they call him old Otis was trying to act like he was 16, 17 years old.
Yeah, I was more hip than I was. Shit, I'd have to play catch up.
Yeah. Whatever. Whatever. Otis almost got his ass beat. Come on, Hancho. You all made me unzip my face on that phone that day. Did I
Yeah.
not threaten to yank
Oh,
to yank off that man's bionic built shoulder from when he got hit by a car and flew 83 feet? I was going to yank that shoulder off.
that was one of the. I mean, it went from 0 to 200, and I was just like, "What is happening? What did I get caught up?" I felt it was very intense. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
that
and
was
my
definitely.
temper, I can have a bad temper, and that's why I don't let and I don't allow people to bring that out of me too often because I'm passionate about anything. If I like you, I love you, and if I don't, and you do something and you try to play me, because lots of times, Hancho, I see what people are going to do. You watch and you see, but you're saying, I hope that they don't, and I want to see how far they're going to take this, how much of a fool they think I am.
Yeah.
And when they dare to try me, that makes me snap because I don't like people to try to fool me or think they're trying to fool me. That's an insult to me. And that can make me snap on people.
I can respect that. Definitely, definitely. Um, that evening, I forgot about that. I'm thinking about it as you're talking about. Yeah, that was one of the more, and I'm surprised people don't talk about that call more, because that was one of the more intense calls in the den. Oh
Lord God, and I
man.
hear by him, Miss Faith was trying to be a nice older woman. I snapped. Yeah, because he wasn't going to come on and apologize. He was still on here saying stupid stuff,
It
trying to
is.
act young, thinking everything's funny. Whole money is slow money, but show money.
Yeah, he's always
Oh,
talking
and
the
another
crazy ass
dumb,
riddles and shit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Or like, what was the other one he would say? What did he say? I'm fit for a bitch, and what did he say? I'm fit for a bitch and slim for a something, because he was slim. I'm like, what?
Right. That's funny.
Fit for a bitch and cut for a slut. That's how it is. That was the one. And he
Man,
would giggle. I'm fit for a bitch and cut for a slut.
I might have to use that one though. That one, and that one might work.
Oh
No.
my God, too funny. But he's got his issues and stuff. But I don't hate him because there's some things that I understand and I've shared with you. Why I understand. I try to understand people. I really do, Hancho.
No, absolutely.
It doesn't give you the green light to try to mess me over. But I try to understand some people. They don't let your reason be an excuse. But he really did have. He had his own little issues and things like that there. But I don't hate him. But he can't get near me ever again, even though he keeps trying every day. He keeps sending me pictures of him with the tractor and the red soil and all these different numbers and pictures. I'm like, why are you sending pictures of yourself? Because all I do is see your face and want to punch it in.
Don't break your phone. Man, we was rooting for you too, Mr. Otis, and you fried it, man. I don't know what happened to you. We was
Yeah,
trying to
nope.
we was trying to rock with you, but yeah, you definitely.
I know, and that was fun. You all were so nice to him. It was fun. It was seeing that was something different. That was something unique. Somebody called from a long time ago. It all went down in the den and stuff. That was unique. That's a story that I can tell, and it's unlike any other story,
That's
especially any other story of mine or my friends.
that's it's wild that actually happened the way it did. That's
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun, and I wouldn't trade that.
definitely a good experience.
Gone through that with all of you in here, I would not trade that at all. I'm not hurt. I'm not destroyed. It was fun, and I wouldn't trade it for anything because I really don't live with too many regrets.
Yeah.
I don't. And, I don't regret that. Okay. Oh,
Um,
my Sarah's in here. Wait a minute, Hunter, did I tell you that Sarah wants to buy me and her uh, dresses that are alike?
I
Because we
think
wear the same kind of shoes, the same kind of dresses, so that we can look like Lucy and Ethel.
I think y'all should fucking do it. I think y'all should definitely do it. I'm
Yup,
definitely
with a little crinoline.
Yeah.
And my daughter always says, "You're so girly." She said, "I can see Sarah's girly," and my daughter always says, "You're so girly." Yep. So yeah, I said, "Sarah, don't you dare." She goes, "Nope. We got the dresses all picked out." And she's and the other day she said, "What's your size?" So that we can have matching dresses. I think that's so adorable because
Yeah.
that's another thing. I don't usually dress like people
Yeah.
because I do my own thing, but I would love to dress like Sarah. The only time I ever dressed like anybody was when my daughter was a little girl. We had mommy and daughter clothes, and when my son was small, I made him an outfit, and I made my outfit to match. That was it. But I don't like when guys try to say, "Well, I'm going to buy you an outfit." Don't buy me anything.
What?
Or they want you to dress like, no, I don't like that.
Oh, you
I
you say
don't.
you want to say that because Dita Gamble said she did. I think Dee said she didn't like dressing the same. He wanted to dress the same, the dude or whatever. So why not? Why you don't want to dress like your man?
It's cornball. I don't like corniness. And then anytime I dated guys, they want to let's go to the studio and take a picture and put the picture up over the bed. That's cornball. That's corny.
What?
Dressing
You
like
don't.
now. I'm gonna tell you what. Those Tims that I had gotten Otis. When I had gone down there, I had gotten myself a pair of Tims, but his were different. And it just so happened we were going to his grandson's football game, and I had a green hoodie. Mine long like a dress hoodie, but I had the pants under it. And he happened to have the same color hoodie. His mother thought that was so cute. She thought we were dressed alike. And it was kind of cute for a minute, but we didn't mean to do that. But no, I don't like dressing like guys. I don't like dressing like people. I'll only dress like Sarah. That's it, because she's my girl. But no, that's not me.
Excuse me.
And I don't like guys buying me clothes because they always come. I told you, Andrew, I've been a kept woman from way back. And they always come bearing gifts. And I do kind of expect that, but I also give gifts.
Yeah.
I like that back and forth, but yeah, you got to take me out to eat and you have to come bearing gifts. And I don't tell them that, they just know it.
What's wrong with that? Um, I'm imagining you and Sarah dressed like twins. That's gonna definitely be a very interesting sight. That's funny. Um,
Oh, that's going to be the most beautiful sight of the den.
but you don't like the over the mantle the couple pictures. What's wrong with that? Why you can't
Oh
what's
my God, that's so corny.
really? It's like
Yeah, and I've
the
had so many guys say, "Let's go take a picture and put it up there." I think that's just so combo. I know Larry one time when I went to Chicago, there was a section in Chicago called Jewtown,
yeah,
where the Jewish people they sell those Polish sausages, and then they have those factories and things that you pick out your fabric. You know what I mean? And they customize your clothes. And Larry had a powder blue suit because it was almost like a player's ball. Once we got back here,
yeah.
he got a powder blue suit, and he had my suit made. I didn't like it, but I wore it, so my stomach was out a little bit with the little shiny powder blue bell bottoms and the top and things.
Yeah.
That was so stupid. And he got his ass beat too.
What? Yeah, that's funny.
Come on, Hancho, I told you. Once he got
Yeah,
hooked on his own product,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I had to beat him up.
yeah, yeah.
I had to beat him up.
Um, yeah, I mean, that'll do it to you. That'll definitely put you in a situation where your behavior will change.
Yeah, you don't put your hands on me. And then you get hooked on your products. I'm gonna beat your ever loving ass every time you thought about putting your hands on me. I beat him in his sleep. I turned that car into a Rubik's cube. I sat there and hid all the drugs and made them all buy it back for me. I got my 20 gauge shotgun with the leather case and hung that out the window. I threw albums down the stairs like frisbees. Oh yeah. See, Hancho, I don't like anybody. Don't trigger my temper, especially back then. Now I'm a lot more tame. Yeah.
That is sounds like you had a lot going on. Man,
Especially back at that time. You know what I mean? It made me look bad because I ran away from home because my mother was too bossy.
yeah,
And I got sick and tired of her telling me when to do dishes and things. You mean? And I went out here and thought I could make this work, and it didn't work out. Oh, my mother never. My mother always said, yeah, she ran away from home because I was strict. She went and ran into a man that was more strict than I was. I'm like, come on, Ma, you got to say that in front of everybody? She embarrassed me.
Oh man. We'll take group den pictures. Y'all want to take group den pictures? I don't know about all that. We just everybody
That's
take a
so
picture and we'll
funny.
Photoshop it.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Yeah, but oh, and my favorite gum. You asked last night the favorite
Oh
gum.
yes, yes, ma'am. Your favorite gum.
Okay, juicy fruit gum,
Okay.
and then bubble gum. And I only do like mint gum if I'm going on vacation or something, as a breath freshener. But I don't like spearmint. I hate spearmint. But I
Really?
really don't chew gum because I don't like sweets. I hardly ever eat candy and things like that. I used to eat gum when I was younger, and I would always swallow it. And then my mother said, "Don't swallow your gum because you're going to grow a gum tree inside your body." I don't know why the hell she said that, because I really started chewing and swallowing more gum because I wanted to grow the gum tree so I have a constant supply of free gum.
I mean, I can see the logic behind that. What did they used to tell me when it was, I think it was the watermelon seeds. I think they used to say if you eat the watermelon seeds that you grow. What they used to tell something crazy, something off the wall like that. And you mess around and eat one of the seeds, and then you start panicking and shit. But that's funny. That's
Yeah, who wouldn't want to grow their own watermelon?
yeah, yeah. I want it, but I don't want it to grow out of me. I was scared as
No,
shit.
I know. You have a big belly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, this is the longest I've ever been on the phone here. But I'm going to get off so somebody else can call. Bell
Oh,
ring the bell.
yeah. We're gonna see if any of the other ladies show up because I want to know what different women's definition of a good woman is. We're gonna see if any of the other ladies step up. So you have stepped up. Miss Bell has stepped up. We're gonna see who else step up to the plate this evening.
Come on, Massachusetts in the house again?
Uh oh, is Massachusetts
Come
out
on now.
representing everybody? Oh man.
Yeah, come on now. Oh, Deepa Gamma's not in here today because she would call in with a little sexy voice. Hi, Honcho. I'm not feeling well today. See, I don't have a voice like that. If I had a voice like Deepa Gamma's, I'd have one of those jobs where what people call the nasty line and you talk dirty to them and get money. If I
Yeah,
had a voice like Deepa, that's what I would do.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, Hunch, I'm gonna get off of here. Unless you have any other questions, anything else to say to me.
um, no, I don't think I have any questions, Miss Grace. I think that's all I have for this evening.
Okay. Good night.
Miss Grace, thank you for calling in. You have a good evening.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye.
Shout out to the lovely Miss K Grace. All right, so we've had two ladies call in and provide their definition of what a good woman is. Interesting, right? And these definitions vary a little bit. I see I see differences, right, in Miss Grace's definition versus Miss Bell's definition. I see some real key differences, right? And it's not that they're right or they're wrong. And it could be that they both share similar values. But when someone, that's why I say when you let someone define something in their own words, it gives you a better understanding of how they feel about something. Because if I tell you, hey, you know, define onions, right? And you don't like fucking onions, you're gonna give me like this negative, terrible description. It's not gonna be anything worthwhile. You're a person who kind of fucks with onions, it's gonna be like, okay, a slightly better description than what you got. But if you really like onions, it's gonna be this great positive thing, right? Or I don't know, I chose onions, it was a horrible choice, but um, you know, people are gonna give you a different intensity and they're gonna give you different words in which they relate So that's where the meaning comes in. So that's all I'm saying. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Oh shit! I thought my signal was tripping. I didn't think I was still alive.
Yeah.
What's going on, Honcho?
No, not much.
What are y'all discussing this evening? I've been supremely busy this evening until this point in time.
Well, we were giving the ladies the opportunity to call in and discuss what a good woman meant to them. Because I'm interested in what women think a good woman truly means. Because it's almost like if you ask any woman what a good woman is, almost all of them will say that they are good women. So I'm curious about what that means to different women.
Understood. Well, then I may need to get off the phone then. That's the case.
Yeah. But if we don't get too many more ladies calling in, then definitely want to get the men's opinion on what they heard this evening, if it alters their perspective of what they believe a good woman is. So yeah, if we don't get too many ladies calling in, definitely call back and we can chop it up.
You got it, brother.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. I'll hang this shit up right now.
All right, but I appreciate you calling in.
You bet.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Let's see if the ladies are gone. I didn't clear the line for the ladies. The guy say, Honcho, don't make way for we can't call in because the men be hogging the line. I done made way for y'all. See, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for even doing that. I told y'all I was going to be nice to y'all this evening. So my apologies for even making fun of y'all like that. Y'all would never, queen divas, goddesses of Mother Planet Earth, Neptune, and all that other stuff, would never do such a thing. All I'm saying is, tonight is y'all's night, ladies. If you have never called in, you say, I've always wanted to call into the den and share my thoughts with that guy Honcho. I'm just curious to see what he thinks about this, or just to share my opinion on something he's been saying, right? I think he's wrong about the stuff he's talking about. Or, you know what? I kind of have a different opinion that I should share with the world. You should call in and share that, right? Don't be afraid. This is what the den is for. The den benefits when different opinions involve themselves in the conversation, right? Because we all learn, we all gain a new perspective, we all gain a better understanding. So every time you call in, you're doing the community a favor. Unless you're Shelley Long. Everybody else cool. Shelley Long, not so much. Everybody else, good job, fuck your job. Shelley, I don't want to hear nothing from Shelley or her definition of a good woman, a bad woman, a robotic woman. I don't want to know nothing about nothing she got to say. So we'll leave that as that is. See, but it's just like I would think I would be a lot more hungry than I am. I'm not hungry. It's not even an actual hunger because I mean, you've actually been hungry. You know the difference between real hunger and starvation and just being an American. And it's not concerning, but I'm not. Just I'm thinking about the fact that I'm not, which is weird because you were just like you're not totally noticing. But anywho, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
This is Dee the Gamma.
Is it D the Gamma? or is it
Yeah.
Phi Slamma Jamma Gamma Mamma? Uh,
Doing honcho.
how you doing this evening, Miss Nita Gamma?
I'm good. Miss K Grace had me laughing talking about my voice. I've heard that so many times, and I'm like, I don't hear that. So it just trips me out when somebody says that.
So, have you ever worked for a spicy phone line?
No, I haven't.
You ever thought about it?
Nope.
Hmm. Why not?
I don't know, but
Do
never
people
crossed my mind.
do people call those
Never
anymore?
crossed my.
Like, do people just use like the video stuff? Like, I wonder, like, do people really still call? Just gonna sit here and listen. Just gonna listen to you talk to me about stuff I can go look at on the internet for free. But okay, I don't know. I don't know what people do. But we're talking about a good woman,
Yeah.
all right? And
Hmm.
I want to know your definition of what a good woman is, Miss Nita Gamma.
Well, for me, a good woman, she has her values intact. She's of good moral character. Um, she knows what she wants. She doesn't let anyone take her off her square. Uh, she makes her own decisions and she sticks by 'em. And when she's with a man, she will do. Um, she'll go above and beyond for the relationship um, if it's reciprocated. Um, that's basically what I think a good woman is.
Mhm. How does a woman identify her values?
How does she define her values?
Yeah, how does she identify her values?
I think mostly it is from her upbringing. Um, Maybe the women in her family were good standing women in the community and within their family. And they just emulate what they've seen from other positive, strong women. And they take that in to themselves. And that's the way I see it. You emulate maybe someone who you've seen who has that strong character or that good moral fiber, and you not necessarily want to copy them, but you embody some of their teachings or their the way of being.
So, you find so you feel like there are female mentors, replicate that you've
I could
had as.
barely hear.
Oh my bad, I'm talking way over here. So you feel like there are women that you've had in your life that you replicate. Who is a woman like that for you?
My grandmother, definitely my grandmother, and a couple of my aunts that have passed on
What?
for me.
Excuse me, pardon me. What makes a woman strong?
Oh, well, I think how she handles herself when she's faced with hard times and trials and tribulations, how she comes out on the other side, her resilience, um, just how she bounces back from when things do go to hell, as we all do have situations that knock us down a bit, is her ability to get back up, dust herself off, and keep it moving.
Hmm. So, do you think that most women today are good women?
There are some. It's a lot, but I can honestly say, um, because of how society, media, everything is out there is pretty much screwed, and the perception of a woman, a good woman, because we're getting inundated with the video vixen, the BBL. Um, you have to have, you got to get the bag, you got to have this, you got to dress a certain way, you got to act a certain way. And everybody's striving for that false narrative. And a lot of men, you know, not knocking the men, but they are partly to blame because they
What? Oh, sorry,
That,
my bad. I'm sorry. I said
because
I wasn't saying nothing
because
to that.
think
My bad.
about it, most men run the music industry. There are not a lot of women running the music industry. There's not a lot of women doing the videos. If those men are in those spaces and they change the narrative of what they're pushing out, it would make it a lot better. But no, they're pushing out that you have to look this way, you have to dress this way, you got to have the 30 inches, the bundles, the BBLs, all of that. And they're pushing that. If they were to change that image that they're constantly pressing out, women would get back to being okay and comfortable with who they are and wouldn't want to be like everybody else. Because I'm not me, but most women think that that's how they have to act and behave and dress to attract a man. I don't think that, but nowadays a lot of women do.
Mhm. So, to a lot of women, you say the majority of women.
Younger women, yes. Younger women, yes. I think women who are from my time and before me, we don't buy into that.
What do you think the cutoff point is, or what age right now is the cutoff point from where it's more good than bad?
I think women in their early 30s, late 20s, maybe their early 20s, in that bracket, I'll say.
You'll say that that's where it stops. That's where it's no longer good.
Yeah, I mean, because they are driven by what's on the internet and what's being pushed out. Uh, I think it's a generational thing.
So do you think that eventually it will go back to being more nurturing or caring, or do you think women have deviated from their nature permanently?
Like I said, I think if the men would take a different approach and change up what they push out and what they glamorize and hold more women who are the plain Janes and who are doing what they're supposed to do. If they start gravitating more to those type of women and showing that, showing them some love, maybe it would go back to how it used to be.
Do you think women really want to be plain Jane?
I can only speak for me. I like being plain Jane. I don't feel like I have to prove anything to anyone at any time. You know, um, I know how to zhuzh myself up, put my makeup on, and put on nice clothes, but I do it for me. I don't do it for anyone else's attention. If I get it, that's fine, but that's not what I set out to do. So I think if more women really valued themselves and what they bring to a table and who they are as a woman and stand on it, I think a lot more women would come around and, not be out there like it is now. But that's just me.
So, like, what about stuff like the YouTubers and the bloggers who came up off like makeup tutorials and stuff like that? That ain't really got too much to do with men. Um, well, at least of a certain nature, right? That's the stuff that women want
Mhm.
to do. That's the stuff they emulate and want to do. It's not necessarily just because of the rappers and all that stuff. So they get into those behaviors. They when you let's see, I'm not. I said I wasn't going to do it. I'm not going to go down the argumentative path. Okay, so you feel like men can alter the narrative, and women will um they'll fall in line.
I mean, to an extent, yeah. I mean, and like when you're talking about the women bloggers who do the makeup or whatnot, again, is what's being put in the magazines and on television that they send this message to them that this is what you need to be doing in order to get noticed or to catch someone's attention, so to speak. So it's like we're in an age where everybody's driven by likes and shares and all that. When in my day we didn't have all that, so it wasn't nothing like that. So, but it's just a different age. And if we could change that,
So
I think I think it'd be a lot better.
with people loving that, and I mean we're in a digital age now. We're not coming back. I don't think unless oh, that's what we were supposed to talk about. I only meant to write that down. But yeah, I think we're in a digital age, and it's going to be a situation where I think people are only going to get worse because they raise little people who think like this. But I said I'm not going to go down the negative path. This is about you ladies and what y'all are thinking about, or what y'all think about being a good woman. So, okay. Um,
Mhm.
if you could change one thing about or let me see, you could change one misconception about women, what would it be?
That we respond all the same. Like I've heard so many times that women we're all alike, and that's so far from the truth. Like I said on the post, I don't know if you read it or not earlier, but one bad woman doesn't represent all women, and we kind of get lumped in with a bad woman, just being a woman. Because I hear men say, all women are this and all women are that, and that's not true. If we could change them from saying all and just say some, or there are women that are like XYZ, instead of saying all women are this, that's not true. I don't say all men are dogs. Women don't say that. We say men, some men are dogs. you know. Y'all don't give us the benefit of that doubt. We're automatically bad women because of how other women are acting, and that's not fair.
Okay. Okay. So I said I'm not counteracting anything in the stream tonight, so we'll take heed of your thought process on this matter, and I will be taking notes so I can understand better the perspective of women and
Hmm.
how they feel when we talk about things like this. I'm working on being a better honcho, so that is also. I thank you, all of you ladies who are calling in and sharing this information, so I can try to apply it to be a better man. But yeah, oh, let's see. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Do you have any additional thoughts on being a good woman, Miss D the Gamma?
No, that I'm going to get off and let someone else get on. But before I do want to say something to Miss Bell
Okay.
from the Discord. I did not want her to think that I had any ill feeling towards her. I don't think she's racist. I know people joke, and you just never know how someone is going to take those jokes, you know. So, with that being said, I just wanted to let her know, everybody know that I did accept her apology. We spoke, and there's no ill feelings between her and I.
Mm,
So, it's deaded, and that's all I want to say.
yeah. Okay. That's cool. I know people probably like, what happened? What happened? Hey, you should have been there. But speaking of the Discord, I'm glad that we can resolve matters in the Discord peacefully and amicably. We will be in the Discord immediately after stream, so make sure y'all in that thing.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, shout out to you, Miss D the Gamma, for being a grown woman. Is that being able to accept an apology? Is that part of being a good woman?
Yes.
All right, good. Because I don't know.
Yes.
So if that's the case, it might not be a whole lot of good women out there. But anyway, I'm just missing. I said I ain't gonna talk bad about women today. Uh, but I do thank you for sharing your opinion with me this evening on what a good woman is, Miss D the Gamma.
Well, thank you for taking my call,
Yes,
and y'all, I'll see you in the Discord.
all right. I'll see you then.
All
Thank
right,
you, Miss
bye.
D. Bye bye. So the ladies have been calling in and sharing their opinion of what a good woman is. So shout out to the ladies who called in so far. And we're looking for more ladies to call in. I'm giving y'all an opportunity. I said I'm not talking down on any of the women tonight. I'm not talking negatively. I'm letting the women speak and voice their opinion without me being harsh, without me criticizing. I may inquire a question or two. That's just what I do. But I am not going to respond negatively. So, again, if you ever want to call into the den, this is your chance to have a safe space. Somebody gonna watch it later and be like, damn, this is my freaking chance. I missed it. I could have called in and you wasn't gonna call me some kind of crazy stuff. Everybody get a pass but Shelly. Shelly still don't get no pass. Shelly don't get no pass ever. Because Shelly's just terrible. Shelly's terrible. But again, so ladies, call in, share your thoughts. Would like to know how y'all feel. Explain to us men folk of the den folk, what does it mean to a woman to be a good woman? I'm curious. I've seen some very good answers. I've seen some with similarities. I've seen some with deviations, right? And I find it very interesting. I find them very interesting. And what's going to happen actually is I want to talk about what I take away from the conversations, right? And I'm just like I said, I'm just and that may be right or wrong, but I'm not going to talk about them on the stream. I will talk about them in the Discord. So make sure y'all are in the Discord. That'll incentivize you to join. But I find all of these perspectives um, fascinating. I really do. So thank you, ladies, who have called in and shared. Excuse me, uh, your thoughts this evening. So, yeah, we know it. We know it. That's WPP, right? WPP is worse than CPT, and Michelle's on WPP right now. Right, she's executing a WPP, and that's not a WPR. WPR is a completely different thing. We had a conversation about a WPR. Michelle is executing a WPP, which is actually in a different category of liability. When we're talking about things that people do. So, I want to hear from the ladies in the den about what's happening. I'm trying to let the ladies have their voice. And if we want to talk about it, we can talk about it in the Discord after the stream because I'm sure people are going to want to express their thoughts about what's being said. But fellas, we're going to let the ladies have a night tonight. We're going to give the ladies a safe space in the den. And I would say we do it in the Discord, but nobody's safe from Broderick snoring. So, this is the only place that we can be safe. Ladies, trying to let you, I don't know why this old den thing keep calling. It's the wrong ass number. This number's from years ago. Years ago. But yeah, right, right. So this is what we'll do, right? This is exactly what we'll do. I'm gonna keep it a little bit. What we got? Where we at right now? 10:25. I say I might go 10, maybe 15 more minutes or so, waiting on the ladies, right? And I can ramble on. If we don't get another call from the ladies by then, we're gonna cut the den short and we're gonna go into the Discord. So if you don't get a full length den tonight, if the den is short, we blame it on the ladies. Even though I said I was gonna be nice to the ladies, I'm being nice. I am. I'm being nice, but I'm trying to make it your night. And so if you guys don't want to have a ladies' night, we'll talk about the things that we've discussed this evening in the Discord, where we can speak freely, where we can have an open discussion. Because, I always get accused of having a bias. I always get accused of forcing a conversation one way, right? So I want to show that I've turned over a new leaf after my birthday. I'm thinking differently, right? I'm operating differently. I want to know how the women honestly feel. I want to be able to comprehend you better, right? I think we all do. Not necessarily, not necessarily saying that I'm going to agree with you more, but I would like to understand better, right? The better understanding that I have, the better it is for everyone or all of us. So it's not like I'm going to say, "Oh, well, I'm listening to the women. They obviously are right now." That'll never happen. Not a chance. But I still love y'all. So, you know, yeah, I don't think so. So that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to make it, right? I'm trying to make it, but yeah, chill out there with the WPP. Yeah, we'll make it. We'll say like 10, maybe 10:35. 15 minutes is a long time just to shenanigan. But anyway, if you're not a part of the Discord while we're sitting here talking, waiting, you can join the Discord conversation by clicking the link at the top of the chat. Make sure you're in the live chat as well, because the live chat is where the conversation is at. Sometimes the top chat does, prevent you from seeing some people's comments and things like that because for whatever reason it blocks it off. Um, I just realized I'm thinking about it now, like how much I do eat food just to eat, like not even for the sake of nourishment. And I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, no, no, I'm having what I'm you just want something that tastes good, right? It's not even about I need to eat because I'm hungry. We're all Americans, so we're all fat as shit, and we can probably go several weeks without eating anything. But for whatever reason, we feel like we need to eat all the time. But I think it's a lot of this consumption of non-food, right? We do need to have a one of those what I said supernatural conversations. We just gonna chop it up this evening after the den. So I want this to go on record, right? So it can never be said that I didn't designate a space for the ladies, right? In all the years of the den, you know, can't be said that Honcho did not say, you know what, ladies, this is your night. It's just for you. You can call in, you can fall in because, baby, I'm all in. So why you stalling? All that other shit. But anyway, uh, don't do drugs, kids. But you know, like, yeah, so I was waiting, and y'all just, the triple OGs came through. They did what they had to do. You know what I'm saying? They came and laid down the foundation, and everybody else disappointed. You calling in, right? Anyway, but that doesn't mean anything to me. I don't even know I speak Spanish. Um, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, Hacho, this is Deepa. One more thing. Could you put those hands all over my body?
Hey now, hey that's for the OnlyFans. I can't do that on the YouTube, but hey, that's
I'm
funny.
just being silly. But one more thing that I wanted to add when I said filling in the gaps of someone's life, I also like for men to fill in the gaps of my life.
Yeah.
You mean don't give me more of what I already have too much of? Because some people aren't original. Like if I have, for instance, as an example, if I already have 3 boxes of chocolates that I got from my kids, don't come around here for Valentine's Day with a 4th box of chocolates because that's a waste. It's not practical. Like I said before, don't bring me flowers when I need shoes. And I like to be the same thing to my man. You mean you want to upgrade him and you want to fill in the gaps. You can look and see, what's missing in their lives. And you want to fill those gaps. And that's it.
I agree, and I think that especially if you were talking about a relationship, you're talking about being somebody's mate, that you should supplement one another. You should compliment and supplement.
Right. And you know what? And the other thing is that I'm a long distance lover. You mean I can still make sure you're fully taken care of, and you can make sure I'm taken care of long distance. The earth isn't big enough to not be able to show that.
Hmm.
It's not to me. Even when Mr. Licorice Man, when he was in, because I really didn't like him at first, because I told you, Hancho, I would never go and approach a man. Not that I like to chase, because I don't need anybody chasing me,
Yeah.
but I like guys to make that first move, and then you got to make me like you some kind of way through conversation or something, for me to take it any further. But when I met him, when I was introduced to him, I really didn't care about it. You know what I mean? I didn't like him that much. We kissed, but that was it. But nothing else, even though he wanted to, until he begged for my phone number. and then he had to go on the green ramp, I guess they called it, because that's when he went to the Saudi Arabia or Iraq, one of them. It was Operation Desert Shield. And so he wasn't my boyfriend, and I wasn't going to be bothered, but everybody said, he might die over there, be nice. And so we wrote, and I wrote him every single day. I made sets with our favorite music, and I would send that over there. And then he sent all of his belongings to my address. I'm like, what the hell's this guy doing? You know, in case they died, I guess they got to send all their things. He sent his stuff to my house, and he ain't never been to my house in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
You mean, so this went on for like almost a year. You mean, every day, right, in sending music, sending gift boxes, and what do you call it, care packages,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, and things like that there to make sure that he was taken care of over there in case he died. And then once he came back to the States, you know what I mean, that's when we got together and things like that. But prior to that, no. And most guys, I don't like them from the beginning. You have
So
to make me like you.
you have to grow on you.
Yeah, like fungus.
Like fun. That's terrible. That's
I want to
terrible.
get it like fungus.
Terrible. Like
Yeah,
fungus.
like
Fungus is
fung.
never
Well,
looked
some of
at
them are like fungus.
in a
Some of
positive
them are
light.
like fungus. You know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
okay, let me see. But that's all because nobody else. I said other people called twice. Belle called twice the other day. I heard when Illusion called twice. So I said, okay, I guess I can call again because I don't think that um, any other women are gonna call. Michelle's another one with a cute little voice.
Really?
You know, she needs to
Uh,
call in. She sounds like
uh,
a little girl.
yeah, Michelle's, I don't know about that Michelle person. It's questionable at most. You know, the thing is, and you might not understand because, you don't reside in Texas, but apparently she's from the Dallas area. And so people from Dallas are not to be trusted. Like, everybody knows this because, see, Dallas has this weird thing where they talk much differently than anybody else in Texas. Nobody else in Texas talks the way people in Dallas talk, right? Um,
Okay.
but they talk like people who live in St. Louis, which some people
Oh,
consider more of a Midwestern area. I say that Dallas is Southern Oklahoma because they talk kind of like people up there too. But nobody else in Texas talks like this. And Dallas people love
wow.
Oklahoma. They love to go to Oklahoma University. They love whatever else. So I'm really trying to write a formal request to the governor to get Dallas removed from Texas and relocated to Oklahoma. But right now we got to get a fair trade. Oklahoma doesn't have anything good enough to trade us, so we're working on
That's
that.
funny.
But yeah, we don't mess
Listen
with
to
people from
Anthony
Dallas.
saying that's all facts.
Yeah, we don't mess with people from Dallas. Can't trust them.
And I've been to Dallas a couple of times. I had fun, but Houston was more fun to me.
People in Houston are much more friendly than people in Dallas. People in Dallas are.
It was incredible. We went to my wild friend that I told you from Kansas City, Missouri. I
Yeah.
called her the other day and I told her I was talking about her, but she worked for AT&T because they sent a group of them here, you know, and I guess they had some kind of conference at the JW Marriott in Houston. You know what I mean? So I got to fly in like the next day or 2 days later because each one of them got a room with two big beds in it, you know, and there was only one person in the room. So I went and stayed and I got to run around and things while, you know, she went to her meetings and it was right across the street from that Galleria Mall where you park your car and you get it lost for 3 days.
And now you
That
parking, it
place
might have
was
got
pretty.
stolen. Shit. That the way
That
it is now. Shit. That's crazy.
I heard you talking about how it's changed. Yeah, it was so hot, but so I would just walk across the street and walk around that mall and things. But we went to a club. I guess Houston has a lot of what do you call those? Are those like strip malls or something? Where
Mm.
they'll have a club, and then next door you can get some chicken wings, some barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know I'm all about the eating. I'm all about the food. But we went into the club. They put us on stage and they clapped for us. You know what I mean? They say, okay, from Boston, even though I'm not from Boston, but close enough. You know, but they were so friendly and so nice. You know, it was unbelievable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, those people will stab you. You got to watch them. They all carry pocket knives.
Listen to Michelle. I mean, look at Sarah.
'Cause
Yup.
the thing is, like, if you
But
hear somebody talk about Texas, they're never talking about anything Dallas. When they talk about the stuff that they love about Texas, it's always stuff they love about Houston. It's never anything they love about Dallas, unless they're a Cowboys fan. And then, even then, Cowboys fans mostly don't even live in Dallas. So, yeah, it's a weird place. It's a
yeah,
terrible place.
Dallas and Arlington was only all right to me, but Houston was the bomb.
It's
It
a
was.
great
Even when
place.
my sister lived there, it was big fun. It was just too hot. That's all to it.
Yeah, it can
Yeah,
get a little
that's
toasty out
ridiculous. No, that don't make no kind of sense. I mean, it was so hot that your skin hurt.
there.
You
I
know, it was
guess we just used
painful.
to it down here, so I guess it's not so bad because we definitely used to the temperature.
I'll bet. I'll bet. Okay, well, I'm going to get off of here. Just wanted to call in the second time.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for taking my call, Honcho.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you for calling in, Miss Grace.
Okay, bye-bye.
Um, I'm a shout out to the lovely Miss Sarah Lou. She says play the high school highlights for HM. I'm gonna have to. I got them on a channel. I gotta be cautious about playing video and video. This, like I said, my setup right now is not like it used to be. It's not as uh sturdy, I would say. And for whatever reason, the last couple days I've done some weird shit. But I'm gonna get the video. I'll find the video and I'll post the link. I'll post the link in the Discord for the video. I'll do that. I can do that. Yeah, yeah, I can do that. I could do that. And thank you, Miss Sarah Lou. Appreciate the love. That's funny. That's fun. Man, yeah, but see, you gotta understand, my shit was back in the day, like when it was on VHS and shit. So yeah, right around that, trying to upload on a fucking sweet potato. Yeah, that's what that shit was recorded on. That shit wasn't even 480p. That shit was like, what is that, 60p? That shit was terrible. Like, and I think about this shit. Like, y'all ever wonder how they take like the fucking movies and make them I'm a switch hitter, so I can just use, let's see what's going on the phone. Okay. All right, yeah, that's very interesting. So you gotta be, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to swap it up. You gotta point shit out like with a fucking circle. That's me right there. Nah. But like, don't you ever find it interesting like how they digitize shit nowadays? Like how they'll take some old ass black and white movie and they will make this shit HD, brand new quality, like amazing quality shit, right? Amazing quality shit. Like it's crazy. It's super crazy. But yeah, there's that. That's what she said, Michelle. Anyway, so with the free ad. But shout out to Belle and D the Gamble, right? Shout out to both of them for being grown women, right? And it's very interesting that they did make up and, agree or whatever you want to call it. I don't even think it was like a falling out, but that they, you know, they were able to resolve their matter like adults. But I also find it very funny because both of them called in today, right? And so that, and there's a point I want to make about that when we get in the Discord, because it's going to, yeah, it's going to be crazy. Yeah, I think, and the thing is, I think I think our shit was on DVD, but it was originally recorded on VHS, and it was just back in the day where you could just, burn anything on DVD, so the shit was still, it was ass, right? That shit is what it is. All right, this is what we gonna do, okay? Because I feel like it is a very good conversation to have. I feel like it's a very good conversation to have because sometimes it's good to get insight on what other people think. That's what makes the den so great. That's what makes the den so wonderful is that you may have a perspective on something that I just do not have. Right. And so by listening to you share that perspective, it allows me to increase my ability to empathize, right? Or, just understand, period. You may say something in a way that and I may have never thought about it. It's like, you know what? I can respect it. Hey, it's terrible. You're a piece of shit or whatever. It could be anything. Who knows? Anything. So, we're going to slide into Billy Data here in just a few. But I want to continue this conversation. I definitely want to continue this conversation because I think there are a few things, like I said, I wanted to point out that I want to address that are very meaningful in each of the author's opinions. Good woman is, right? And so I propose this to everybody in the chat before we do get ready to wind it down. I propose this question because I'm a person who is fair. I'm a person who tries to see both sides of everything, of every issue, and I definitely understand that there's an equal and opposite. So the reason why I really wanted to hear from women and hear their opinion on what a good woman was because I say they we talked about being a man, choosing women not really knowing what men deal with, right? I also say women have 1,000 outlets into which they can spew their feelings, but I still think it's important to know how people feel, how people think, and I think this is the only. I won't say the only place, but with the ladies who call into then, I think that you can get a genuine conversation out of them, and they will be frank with you. And I think you can get that without it getting too crazy, like you might in other places and or platforms. So what I'm asking is, I talk about men speaking on men's issues. Do you think that only women should have an opinion on what a good woman is? Can a man who's never been in a woman's shoes really tell a woman what she's dealing with and what she's, experiencing if he's never walked in her shoes? Does he have the right to, you know, tell her what his standard is? Now, we do have the right to say, okay, this is what I'll accept from you. But does he have the right to tell her what the standard of good actually is? I will never negate that a man has his own personal standard of what he's going to accept from a woman. That's not even a question. But can a man truly determine what a good woman really is? I'd like to know your thoughts on that and why y'all learn. That with me in my deli and down in my dilly. Today's a very interesting day. Real interesting day. No, a lot of things I say I don't even advertise. You got people who will. Hold on one second. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
What's the motherfucking deal, Honcho?
Yeah. Thought we were going to escape here safely, people, but unfortunately we could not abscond, and I guess these were not broken white woman promises. Hello, Miss Michelle. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you tonight?
I'm doing fine. I
Okay,
have
good.
learned a lot from the ladies this evening, and maybe you can contribute to my learning. So, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
ask you the same thing I asked the previous callers. Miss Michelle, what is a good woman?
A good woman. Okay. Well, I think we should go back to scripture to find out what is a good woman, since it was the Almighty who made us to be what He wanted us to be. But there's lots of different types of women, right? So there's the wife, there's the mother, there's the unmarried woman, there's the woman in training, the young lady. But the purpose of a woman was to be the helpmeet for the man, right? Because God made Adam and He decided that Adam needed a companion and that he shouldn't be alone, right? So a good woman was designed to be. Am I echoing?
No, you're good to me.
Okay. So she was designed to be a companion to the man. And even young ladies should have that in mind as they're growing and developing into women. And also, the Bible does also say that a good woman or a good wife is precious and more precious than jewels. That's in Proverbs. And that they're hard to find. So there's not going to be a lot of these women out there. You have to know what you're looking for. You have to know how to identify one. Because the Bible also tells us that a woman should be modest. And so she's not the sexy red out there, and she's not the one out there doing the most. So you have to be mindful of what it is that you should be looking for. And I think that society doesn't help us know what we should be looking for or what we should be as women, or the men looking for these good women.
Why doesn't society help us?
I'm sorry?
So why doesn't society help us figure that out?
Because society is evil. The general population is not aware of godly things. They don't want us to be godly. They don't want women to be godly. They don't want men to be godly.
So, earlier, I'll say Miss D the Gambler said that, sometimes women look to other women kind of as, mentors, or, taking bits
Hmm.
and pieces of their habits and traits to identify, good things. Did you
Hmm.
have a woman that you looked up to when you were growing up that you modeled yourself after?
Uh-huh. Yeah, there were several women. And, you should do that. Like, Kate Grace, she is a good woman to look up to for sure. Um, And you should definitely, I mean, my grandmother, my adopted grandmother, my own mom. My mom was a single parent though. And so she was a very successful businesswoman, and she was not like the traditional woman that you would think of. Very strong, um, and very focused on her kids. But I would say I probably the most got my heart from my grandmother, probably, and watching my grandma and my grandpa. But my mom was a very amazing woman. She is an amazing woman. She's a very charming lady. She's very beautiful. But she had to get thrown, well, and she wanted to. She's definitely a workaholic, and so we're very different in certain ways. So she's
What
still, go ahead.
what makes a woman strong?
A woman who has good balance, um, and knows who she is, and like her strength is her softness and her sensitivity. You can be like what would be considered a strong woman and still reserve like a sensitive side to you, or a compassionate side to you that supersedes that strong side. Um, and you have to have that balance. Um, yeah.
Okay. Do you think that, well, actually, you answered that question already. You already said that most are not godly, they are like gems, so they will be few and far between. Well, let me put it like this. Do you think that there are even fewer uh, good wives now than there have been in the past?
I think there's a lot of people like noticing that, especially like my generation of women, like we may have seen like what feminism did to the culture. So I think even people my age are starting to realize like we do have it wrong. Like it is wrong the way that we promote women to be over sexualized, and so I think we're starting to feel and see the backfiring. But when my generation was getting married, I think that we were being told one thing by society as far as what we're supposed to be as a wife. And for some women, that just is not like natural to them. That doesn't feel like what they wanted or expected, but they're just living out society's expectations on them. And so they're starting to realize. Now, myself, having realized that, I'm now teaching my daughter to be exactly who she should be rather than what society is telling her she should be. And that's like the most important role that I can have now, is teaching her how to be that helpmeet to, her future husband. And that starts with how she treats her brothers and how her brothers treat her. And, just trying to reverse all the negative stuff we've imposed on both men and women. Now, as far as like the younger generations, I see some women wanting to be like that stay-at-home mom, or just valuing like a marriage. But they really have it hard against society. So, I pray that that's what they'll have, because I think that was our nature originally. But I don't know. But I do agree with Kay Grace. Like, I think it was Kay Grace, or maybe it was Vita Gamma saying, like, men have some responsibility in this too, because if that's what you want, show it by choosing those women. Like, show it by choosing patience over, just trying to see what you can get. But all in all, it is up to the woman. Like, and that's where women failed in the beginning when we succumbed to the apple. But you really gotta you have to decide for yourself that that's what you want. That's who you are naturally, and you just can't be swayed by the ways of the world. And I'm by no means perfect, but these are the things that like I identify as, what as a little girl that I always like looked to and thought of how I wanted things. And now as an adult, it's actually closer to that than what it was in my teenage years or in my 20s.
So you do think that there may be a possible shift back to that old mentality?
I hope so. Um, it may take something drastic happening, like you're always saying, like the end of the world or something like that. But everyone is not going to be that anyways, and that's like the rareness of what you find is it's not for everybody, and not even everybody will seek it. So I don't know if everyone will have that.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many crazy people. Too many crazy people connected. But yeah, definitely. Okay. I don't think I have any further probing questions for you this evening, Miss Michelle. I cannot find fault with anything you said. I said I wasn't gonna attack any of the women tonight, so even if I could find fault with your thoughts, I would not act upon it as much as I wanted to. Um all right. I mean, is there anything else that you would like to add to the conversation about being a good woman?
Mm, yeah, just be true to that. Like, no matter what happens to you, like, you always have to make the decision to be who and what you want to be. And just because something bad happens to you doesn't mean that, you should act in that same way. You got to be convicted in your beliefs, and, you'll be all right.
Okay. All right, Miss Michelle, you're a better person on the phone than you are in the chat, so I can accept that. But I
Yeah.
do, what? But I do thank you for calling in this evening. But we will carry this conversation over into the Discord. For those of you who don't know, the link is up at the top. Will you be joining us in the Discord this evening, Miss Michelle?
I think I will. Yes.
Okay, we'll look forward to seeing you there. Because like I said, all the ladies who called in tonight, I wanted to let y'all have the show. I wasn't going to disagree or anything, but I have some thoughts about the things that y'all said, and I would like to discuss them with all of y'all in the Discord. But hopefully we get a chance
Well,
to.
that's fine, but you're going to have to be nice. You have to be nice, though. It doesn't mean you can revert back to mean honcho. You have to be nice.
I've done my nice.
Can we get a whole nice night, like at least until midnight?
Think about it. I'll ponder.
All right. All right. Good night, honcho.
All right, Mr. Phil. Thank you for calling.
Bye.
All right, so hold on 1 second. All right, problems up. All right, so y'all know what's going to happen right now. Y'all already know what I'm about to tell y'all. I'm like, look, man, the link is in the damn dilly dally out of it, foreboding the last couple of calls that we are about to slide in the motherfucking Discord. So, man, hit that link in the Discord, man. Get in the voice chat. Don't meet me there, beat me there. I want to continue this conversation because there are some very interesting takeaways from the callers tonight that I would like to discuss. So hopefully you can join us there. With that being said, I appreciate y'all, right? And all that good stuff. Yeah. So I don't know what else you want me to tell you. I mean, the link's already there. It's not like I got to go get the link because the link has already been in the deal, right? So next, what you want me to say? What y'all want me to do? What y'all want me to tell you? Like, this is the part of the stream. Every time I tell you, I'm just gonna cut the shit off randomly and just stop streaming. Y'all just sitting there waiting. Make sure you follow on all the proper social medias: Instagram, Ed Honcho HTX, Twitter or X, whatever it is now, Ed Honcho HTX. I'm not on Threads. I'm thinking about it. What else? TikTok, Honcho HTX. Just follow the links in the description below. It's the best thing that you can do for yourself. All right. Just follow the links in the description below. Right. It's good stuff. All right. And with that being said, beat me in the Discord. I'm about to hop in that thing like right now. I'm out. I'm gone. Adios. Peace. Peace. Stop. I'm gone. Bye. Stop. Done. Stream's over with. Why are you still here? Why are you still listening to me talk on the stream that's not even, it's not